And let's go ahead and dive straight into this little this Darvin Ham conundrum and this problem that I've had with this coach for quite some time. So Darvin Ham has been the scapegoat for the Lakers since he got hired. And for the duration of his career, he's literally been nothing but that, a scapegoat. And that's basically like the easiest way to sort of sum up Darvin Ham's career as a Lakers head coach. And the reason why I say this is because whenever you, at least recently, with the only news about the Lakers that is guaranteed to come out, or that has been guaranteed to come out, is the Lakers talking about how they have a great team. Then when the team doesn't play so well, they blame it on the players. Then they'll blame it on the coach. Then the team will start gaining some traction mid-tier in the middle of the season. Then the team would start getting some praise. Then the coach would also stop facing a bunch of criticism until the Lakers ultimately lose, and then the criticism starts unfolding for Darvin Ham. It's a never-ending cycle with Darvin Ham and with the Lakers and whoever is the Lakers coach. And it's sort of a lot of people are sort of quick to question whether or not it's legitimately the coach's fault or whether or not it's the Lakers fans being the Lakers fans. But so far, from what I've been able to sort of pick out from his little tenure from his 2 seasons as a Lakers coach, I'm not entirely sure if he deserves a lot of blame or as much blame as he's getting. Because it is the hate is egregious towards Darvin Ham. But is it deserved? Is it not really deserved? Should the Lakers fire him? Well, I genuinely first time being a head coach for a major team like this, and obviously being put in this kind of situation, it wasn't very easy, and he was forced to make calls, and he was forced to make risky adjustments that a lot of people might not have agreed with. And this was mainly at the time when Westbrook was in the rotation, and he had to make that difficult decision on whether to start Westbrook, whether to bench him, whether to play him in these games, whether to not play him in these games. It was a very difficult decision for this team, for the coach to figure out, and it was very difficult for the organization to figure out exactly where Westbrook fit in the lineup. And I feel like that's where half of the problem starts with Darvin Ham. It's his rotations. I don't know what goes on through his mind, but a lot of the times the rotations that he was making and that he's been making, they just don't make any sense. Throughout the majority of the playoffs, he only played about I'd say 7 players. Throughout the entirety of the postseason, he only played 7 and 8 players. And when you can't do that. Obviously, 7 or 8 players, they aren't going to be enough long term to win a championship, at least in the state of where those players were at. If it was 8 of the best players ever and you had some of them coming off of the bench, then maybe, yeah, you could do something. But that's a one-in-a-lifetime chance of that happening. And not only that, but that's just never going to happen. And you just can't have a team that's reliant on 2 main players and you only have 3 other players coming off of the bench for that rotation. That simply cannot happen. And Darvin Ham, there's another thing that one of the things that Darvin Ham used to do for some reason that I just don't understand why was the lineups that he would put Westbrook in would encourage Westbrook to shoot the ball more. And I don't understand why you would group Westbrook up with those people as opposed to grouping him up with a bunch of shooters to encourage him to take inside shots a little bit more. And that was a little bit of a problem that I had with his coaching to begin with. Then towards the playoffs, the big problem that I've had with his coaching was the fact that he wasn't making any kind of changes or doing any kind of adjustments that I feel should have been made while the game was going on. Having all of these players, having the same players play the exact same minutes in a playoff game just isn't going to help. You need to utilize the rest of your bench, and you need to utilize the rest of your players in the rotation to be able to combat what the other players are doing. And he doesn't really do that. I don't see Darvin Ham doing that. I don't really see Darvin Ham actively engaged in the game whatsoever. The only thing that I really do see are the players being more engaged in the game than Darvin Ham is as well. Most of the time, and it is a little bit of a joke on the internet, but I genuinely do see it. He just stands there. Doc Rivers stands there, doesn't do anything. It's the exact same thing with and that's really the big problem. It's the adjustments and the coaching decisions that he just wasn't making. And obviously part of I'm not going to be blindsided and say that part of the reason why he's getting all of this hate is because he is LeBron's coach. Because obviously, that's a really big factor. There's only been one coach in the history of LeBron James' career that still has a job as a head coach in the NBA right now. Who was his coach? And obviously, people are going to look at that and they're going to think, oh, LeBron is a diva, because it's how on earth is it that, everyone else that was a coach everyone that used to be his coach doesn't have a job. But, except for, Tyronn Lue and the coach for the and Spoelstra for the Heat. But regardless, you can also kind of disregard Ty Lue because he still isn't the same coach for the Cavs, which was, the team that LeBron was a part of up until he decided to leave. And there's really I don't really know exactly how to draw that line. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, before I thought Tyronn Lue was basically the exact before I thought Ty Lue was basically the exact same. What Darvin Ham is now, I thought that was Ty Lue. Before he became a coach for the Clippers, because Tyronn Lue, he's only seen the success of coaching with LeBron. And he hasn't seen any success outside of coaching without LeBron up until that point in 2018 when he got before he got fired, up until he got fired and replaced. But then when he went over to the Clippers, he was able to take the Clippers farther than they've ever gone in history. The first time he was the head coach, where Doc Rivers, he wasn't even able to take the team that far. So when Ty Lue did that, it sort of opened my eyes to this guy, he can coach. And not only that, but he was able to do that without having Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. So the fact that he was able to coach a Clippers team to make it to the Western Conference Finals without their best player, I think that's more than enough justification to sort of justify, his experience as a coach and whether or not he is a good coach or not. But before that, I had no idea whether or not his success was generated because of LeBron James. Similar to how now I have no idea to whether or not Darvin Ham's success is generated because of LeBron James. But that's basically the news and what's going on with the basketball world and with Darvin Ham. Since I did start this since I did start a little bit later than normal, we don't have as much time for this segment. So I will be going into the second segment where I will be talking about speaking of the Clippers, I'm going to be talking about the Clippers going up against the Mavericks and how they completely blew this one in their last matchup. I mean, this seemed like a textbook win for the Clippers, textbook in the sense that how playoff series usually go, but as usual how the Clippers be, they ended up losing. Like, I can't really explain this loss any other way other than the Clippers are the Clippers. But I'll explain a little bit more of it after this short break, so stay tuned.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown. Get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the